can you move that the House suspend its rules to admit the following senators in our chamber? They are Senator Ede Defections, representing Delta Central Senatorial District, Senator Joel Onowapa, representing Delta South Senatorial District.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I'm Professor Julius C. Hanvere, Owan Federal Constituency, Edo State. I rise to move that the House do suspend its relevant rules in order to admit the senators clearly outlined and named by Mr. Speaker. I so move.
The leader of the House, the minority leader of the House.
Yes, acting. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable George Ibezimako Ozodinobi. I represent the good people of Njikoka and Ocha Dunukofia Federal Constituency. I'm from Anambra State.
Go ahead.
I rise to second the motion moved by our honorable leader to admit the senators to the chamber. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Honorable Akarachi, is he around? Please, can you lead our guest to the chamber, please? Honorable colleagues, I have some couple of announcements for you. And I will begin on a selfish note with my own announcement. This is to inform you that honorable members of the conferment to the Right Honorable Speaker with the prestigious CIPMN Honorary Fellowship Award by the Chartered Institute of Project Managers of Nigeria on Friday, 6 December 2024. This is just for your announcement. Thank you. We have some very important announcements, and I'm sure the APC family will be very elated with these announcements. And I hope the minority caucus will also take a cue after the announcement to follow suit, so that we can unblend and become one.
Until I see the carrot that is being dangled.
Stand up.
Thank you, leader. For
Honorable
your support.
George.
And I'm happy that Honorable Ali JC is here. Please take your rightful seat so that you can join us in the party to come. Right Honorable colleagues, I have a letter from Honorable Sir Tuchuku Chinedu Okere. And the message of his letter is, the title is Letter of Resignation from Labour Party. And the content of the letter reads as follows. I write to formally convey my intention to leave Labour Party to join the All Progressive Congress Party, APC. This was a tough decision to make, but I had no option than to move on. As you are aware, the National Working Committee and some stakeholders of the party are a major legal tussle. These conflicts have made it increasingly difficult to focus on the pressing issues that concerns the party. I have consulted with my people, constituents, and political allies, and I've been urged and encouraged to identify myself with any party that will enable me represent them better. On this note, kindly take this letter as my resignation from Labour Party and transition to All Progressive Congress Party, APC. I pray for your support and that of all the political parties for a peaceful transition. Please accept the assurances of my esteemed regards to your office. Sincerely, signed, Honorable Sir Tochukwu Chinedu Okere. Honorable Okere, can you please stand up for recognition?
Mr. Speaker,
Please, honorable colleagues, can we appreciate him?
Mr. Speaker, point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Let me finish my announcement. You can take your point of order at the same time.
Okay, the other announcement.
Yes,
Okay.
there are other couple of announcements that are on the same subject matter.
Honorable Judge, next time you are addressing the speaker, you have to stand up. Please be guided.
Honorable colleagues, Honorable Chinedu, can you just find a seat here because there are other people that will join you, so that we don't disrupt the plenary. Honorable, will you be kind enough to come and shake his hands here too?
Mr. Speaker, point of order.
No, your point of order will be noted later.
Constitutional order.
Congratulations.
Constitutional order.
Wish you all the best in APC. You have taken the right decision. Thank you.
Point of order, overruled.
Yes, and the caucus leader as well. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Honorable colleagues, another announcement coming from a member of the Labour Party, Honorable Donatus K. Matthew. The title of his letter is Letter of Defection from the Labour Party to All Progressive Party. And his letter reads as follows. I hope this letter finds you well. I'm writing to formally notify you of my decision to defect from Labour Party and join All Progressive Party effective immediately. After much reflection and careful consideration, I have concluded that the All Progressive Party aligns more closely with my values, principles, and visions for the future of our country. I believe this decision will better enable me to serve the interests of our people and contribute more effectively to the development of policies that will drive positive change. During my time with Labour Party, I have worked diligently to support the party's initiatives. However, after careful examination of the political landscape, I have come to the realization that my political ideas are not better represented by All Progressive Party. This is not a decision I take lightly, and it has been made after deep personal reflection.
Order.
I remain committed to working tirelessly to support the goals and objectives of All Progressive Party, and I'm eager to contribute to its success. I trust that you will understand my position and will support me as I make this transition to a new chapter in my political career. Thank you for your understanding, and I look forward to continue to work towards advancement of our nation's best interests under the banner of All Progressive Party. Signed, Honorable Donatus Matthew Kuzalio, member representing Kaura Federal Constituency of Kaduna State. Honorable Matthew, congratulations and welcome to the greatest and biggest party in Africa. Welcome to prosperity. Welcome to fulfillment.
Mr. Speaker, I'm still on standby.
Yeah, there are more to come, so you take them all together. Honorable colleagues, on a happy note again, it's my pleasure to read a letter coming from Honorable Akiba Basi E, member representing A member from Cross River State, his constituency is not written in the letter. And the subject matter is notification of my defection from Labour Party to the All Progressive Congress Party. And his letter reads as follows. I write to formally notify you and this Honorable House of my decision to defect from the Labour Party to the All Progressive Congress. This decision is guided by two primary reasons. Number one, division and factionalization within the Labour Party. In accordance with Section 68, subsection 1G of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, which permits a parliamentarian to change parties due to division within their party, I'm compelled to act. The Labour Party is currently embroiled in a severe and protracted crisis, with two factions at the national level vying for leadership. This division has extended to the state, local government, and all levels, as evidenced by the existence of parallel executive committees led by Oga Osim and John Ushi in my state, both of which are engaged in litigation. This dysfunction has rendered the party ineffective in fostering unity and providing a stable platform for governance. It has also created a toxic atmosphere where attending meetings called by one faction is perceived as disloyalty by the other, therefore limiting my ability to effectively represent my constituency under the Labour Party. Number two, the governor's outstanding performance and the need for synergy. The governor of Cross River State, His Excellency Senator Basi Otu, has demonstrated exemplary leadership and commitment to development in my federal constituency and the state at large. His ongoing projects and initiatives are significantly transforming the lives of my constituents to strengthen collaboration and maximize the benefits of his administration's efforts for my people. I have resolved to join the APC. Additionally, a vast majority of my supporters from the 2023 elections, many of whom were previously in the LP, PDP, SDP, ETC, have long moved to the APC. Therefore, joining APC will help me to remain sync with my supporters and contribute more effectively to the progress and development of my federal constituency, state, and the nation at large. This decision is made in good faith and in full consideration of the constitutional provisions and my commitment to the welfare of my people. Thank you for your understanding. Yours faithfully signed, Reb Akiba Basi. Honorable Basi, can you stand up for recognition? And a handshake with the majority leadership as well as the minority. You're welcome. You're welcome to the greatest party in Africa. As a representative of the
Mr. Speaker, are you ready for me?
a common leader, so just be patient so that you can take them together. But if you need Panadol extra after my announcements, I will be more than willing to send it to you with a glass of water. Eh? Honorable colleagues, the next announcement is coming from Honorable Engineer Isosa Iyawe, and his message is notice of defection. And the letter reads as follows. I'm writing I'm writing to formally tender my resignation as a member of Labour Party, effective immediately. This decision was reached after careful consideration of my personal convictions and the alignment of my values with the political landscape today. My decision to resign from LP is as a result of the party's inability to declare who should emerge as the legitimate caretaker committee from the national to state levels. More so, due to the incessant tussle rocking the leadership of the party and the numerous perpetual court cases against the leadership of the party, myself and my supporters are in a state of confusion as to the party's stability in leadership. With regards to my right to freedom of association, as enshrined in the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended, I hereby wish to notify you of my defection from the Labour Party to the All Progressive Congress, APC, whose ideas align with my political aspirations and ideology. This is after due consultations with my family and supporters. I hereby re-emphasize my resolve to continue my service and representation to my people, as this decision will certainly improve my performance at all levels. I thank the leadership and fellow members
can you
of the
sit
Labour
down?
Party for the support, collaboration, and opportunities provided to me during my membership.
You should
I
take your
live
seat.
with gratitude and respect for the party's efforts and contributions to our democracy. Sincerely, signed, Honorable Engineer Isosa Yahweh. Honorable Yahweh, can you please rise up for recognition? You are welcome to the greatest party in Africa. Most welcome.
Your voice now.
Minority Leader, please don't get tired. I have not finished. Please.
Your Excellency, it's enough. It's enough.
To be calm. Okay? My next announcement is coming from, congratulations, my brother. Wish you all the best. Congrats. Thank you. It's coming from Right Honorable Rita King Ibori Sueno, member representing Ethiopia East, Ethiopia West, Federal Constituency of Delta State. Her message reads as follows: Notice of resignation from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and defection to the All Progressive Congress, APC. The content of the letter reads as follows: I write to formally notify you of my resignation as a member of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. My decision to leave the party was necessitated by two significant factors: my total exclusion from the activities of the state chapter of the PDP and the persistent national leadership crisis that has deeply divided the party into opposing factions. Attached herewith are copies of my formal letter of resignation from the PDP for your reference. In line with the provisions of Section 68, subsection 1G of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended, I have decided to join the All Progressive Congress Party, APC, effective today. In light of this development, I respectfully request to be seated among the APC members of the House of Representatives. Thank you for your kind consideration. Signed, Right Honorable Eriteke Ibori Suenu. Honorable Ibori, congratulations. Welcome to the greatest party in Africa. Welcome to the winning party. Welcome to the party of the future. We believe you will find successful fulfillment and satisfaction. And we are also using this opportunity to employ other members of PDP to join you. You are welcome to the board. Welcome to our party.
Mr. Speaker,
Honorable colleagues, it's my pleasure to identify and introduce two of our members of the Senate who are here to also observe the defection of our member from PDP. Senator Adams Oshimole is here with us, the great comrade, our leader par excellence. You're welcome, sir.
Speaker.
We also have the young that has grown. The young that has grown in the Senate.
Very respected Honorable Speaker, I remain Ali Isa JC, member representing Balanga Biliri Federal Constituency from Gombe State, and I am the minority whip. Mr. Speaker, I'm coming under constitutional order, Section 68 of the 1999 Constitution. Mr. Speaker, with your permission, Mr. Speaker, leader, you and your team, can you take your seat? Mr.
Go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, Section 68, 1. A member of the Senate, I thank God there are some senators here, or the House of Representatives shall vacate his seat in the House of which if a member become a member of another political party. Mr. Speaker,
You didn't read it all.
Mr. Speaker,
You read only a part of the provision.
Let me learn, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my very respected honorable colleagues, I believe as members, we have to be serious with our constitutional issues. I know the Speaker is somebody that respects the laws, and I'm sure in a moment he will declare some seat vacants because the Constitution clearly stated that if you are sponsored by a political party to a House of Representatives or Senate, and you decide to move to another party, the House shall declare your seat vacant. And apart from that, Mr. Speaker, I sympathize with some of them that feel it's important for them to move to APC. With the situation we are in this country, the hardship APC has brought to this country, I feel uncomfortable for any member to come out and say he wants to come to the same party, Mr. Speaker. And let me inform Mr. Speaker, already negotiation has gone far. We are discussing with Honorable Kumo and few others. They will clearly announce their own. When they come to PDP, I hope the Speaker will not come out and say he wants to invoke that section against any of them. Mr. Speaker, I appeal.
We wait to hear. We wait to see if that will happen.
Once again, my colleague from the Labour Party who also want to add to. Are you the Speaker? Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Please go ahead. Honorable George.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am Honorable George Ibezimako Ozodinobi, Aja Ajanze. I represent the good people of Njikoka and Ocha Dunukofia Federal Constituency. I'm from Anambra State. By special grace of God, through Mr. Speaker, I remain the Deputy Minority Whip of this House. No matter the number of the defections that happened today, I'm still above our head. Labour is still above our head.
Nobody is disputing that, leader. Nobody.
Still above our head, MPP in this House. But being that as it may, I want to say that my party is not in any crisis. My party remains one. We don't have any crisis in my party. For those of them who want to malign my party before this assembly that we have faction, there is nothing like that in existence. I wouldn't want to say we're expecting this. When people enter political party without an ideology, we see such level of defection. People who don't have ideology in anything they do, they don't need to be trusted in any form, whether they are in APC or PDP. I stand here today to tell them that this rotten carrot that is dangled before them to defect to this party that has brought hunger to this country, we are waiting at the end of the day as the party of the people. By 2027, we'll open our arms again to give them their rightful ticket. We are very, very, please, Kumo, I have the floor. I am the leader of Labour Party in this House. I am saying, I'll quote the Bible. When Jesus was carrying the cross to the Calvary, the woman Veronica was weeping. And he looked back and said, women of Israel, don't weep for me. Weep for yourself. I'm telling those who have defected, they will continue weeping for themselves because where you have crossed over, you don't have future. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, the leader of Labour Party. We have heard what you have said, along with the minority leader. We'll wait to see what happens. Thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you. Honorable colleagues, we have an announcement coming from Honorable Bella Isa Ambarura, Chiroma Ambarura, member representing Ilela, Guadabawa Federal Constituency of Sokoto State. Is also on a happy note, is to announce that with thanks to the Almighty Allah for sparing his life and that of his entire family to witness the wedding ceremony of his daughter, Aisha Bello Ambarura. He said, in the light of the above, I would like to use this opportunity to announce and invite my respected colleagues to the memorable and important occasion. The historic ceremony is scheduled to hold on Saturday, 14 December 2024, at Anas bin Malik Mosque, Gwiwa Eka, Sokoto, of Justice Ladan's Amir Street, Sokoto. You are all invited, please, and in the event you are not able to attend, your kind prayers to the couples and my entire family will be highly needed. Thank you. Signed, Honorable Bello Isa Ambarura. Public petitions. Petitions, I will start with the undisputable mover of our petitions in this house, the man known to have moved more than 100 petitions in a span of less than 1 year. It's my honor and pleasure to recognize Honorable Jesse to open the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, the People's Speaker. My esteemed colleagues, what a day. I strongly believe today will speak tomorrow. Mr. Speaker and distinguished colleagues, I have a petition and a strongly worded petition signed by Chief Ogeno Okoro. Mr. Speaker, this petition is against the company Seplat. Mr. Speaker and distinguished colleagues, the petitioners are asking your honorable self to save them from disagreement that might lead to loss of life over what they call changing and wrongful naming of where oil were in their communities. Mr. Speaker, as you are rightly known to be a man under his pretendency, through petitions, Nigeria have received solution. The prayers are well written in the petition, and as Nigeria will speak, irrespective of what happened today, I lay this petition, I crave your indulgence to lay this petition before this House, that you give it all the attention as you have always done. I so move.
Please go ahead. Any more petitions? Honorable Peter the Rock.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your Excellency, my name is Honorable Peter Aniekwe, member representing the good people of Anambra East and West. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Anambra State. I have a petition here by the Center for Justice, Social Equity and Transparency. This petition is against Chief Chijioke Nwankweze, the Director of Lands in the Federal Capital Territory, for corrupt practices, gross abuse of office by owning and running private companies.
Honorable Kero, please can you find your seat?
Money laundering and false declaration of assets, contrary to Part 1 of the 5th Schedule to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. Mr. Speaker, do I have your leave to go and lay this petition?
Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Any more petitions? No? All petitions are referred to the Committee on Public Petitions for further legislative action. Honorable colleagues, it's my honor and privilege once again to invite Honorable Jesse Okejoy to present a motion. He feels it's a motion of urgent public importance for your kind attention. Honorable Jesse, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Distinguished Speaker, my esteemed colleagues. Mr. Speaker, I have a matter of public urgent importance. It's in respect of constant failure of containers being driven by truck, and this one happened last week along Oshodu-Apapa Express Road. Mr. Speaker and distinguished colleagues, I crave the indulgence of this House to step down the rules of this House to allow me to move this petition on the constant and instant fall of containers being driven by trucks along Oshodu-Apapa Road. Mr. Speaker and distinguished colleagues, I seek your leave to step the rules so that I can move this petition. I so move.
Honorable Mudashir, sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Mudashiru Lukman Alani, representing the good people of Iwo Ayidiriola Oluwa Federal Constituency. I'm from Osun State, Mr. Speaker. I rise this morning to second the motion, ably moved by my colleague. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Second leg of the motion, let me give this privilege to the minority leader after spending 15 minutes speaking to us on why we need to review. Let us give him that honor to support this, to second this second leg. Minority leader, we are saying that you should second so that at least we can also calm nerves. It is coming from a Labour Party member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my very respected honorable colleagues. I rise to second the motion moved by our own Honorable Jesse. We will start with him. I will support his motion always, Mr. Speaker. Hereby second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Jesse, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and distinguished colleagues. Motion of urgent public importance. Motion on the need to ensure that all containers leaving the seaport are properly lashed and strapped to avoid carnage on a highway.
Honorable Weke.
Mr. Speaker and distinguished colleagues, the House notes with concern the frequent accident caused by improperly secured container on our trucks leaving our seaports. These incidents often result in the loss of lives and property and have become a daily occurrence on our highways, paving a grave threat to public road safety and national development. The House further notes that the containers in the truck, when improperly lashed on stripe, are prone to overturn, leading to accidents. Disturb, Mr. Speaker, that recent tragic incidents along Apapa Oshodo Expressway, Lagos, resulted in the death of multiple road users and extensive damage to vehicles. Similar occurrences have been reported across the country, particularly in the area of Tinka Island, One Port, and Port Harcourt, indicating a systematic failure of enforcing safety measures. Further disturbed that despite the presence of regulatory agencies like Federal Road Safety Corps, Nigerian Post Authority, Nigerian Customs Services, this accident persists due to lack of enforcement and non-compliance with trucking companies and port operators. Concerned that the lack of proper supervision, safety checks, and coordination among stakeholders in the transport and logistics chain have exacerbated the pain, creating an unsafe environment of commuters and business alike. Mr. Speaker and distinguished colleagues, the House now resolved to mandate the House Committees on Ports and Harbor Safety Institutions to investigate the constant accident of containerized truck and provide solution within 28 days for further legislative action. Secondly, to summon the Controller General of Customs, Inspector General of Police, and the other relevant agencies to explain the enforcement strategy to ensuring compliance with port ethics for safety standards. To mandate the House Committee on Ports and Harbor, in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Works and relevant stakeholders, to develop a robust framework to ensure containers leaving our port are well secured. Fourthly, to invite the following stakeholders to appear before the joint sitting of this House on shipping services and rating safety standards. 1, the Minister of Transportation, the Head of Management of Nigerian Ports Authority, the President of National Association of Road Transport Owners, the President of Truck Drivers Association, the Head of Clearing Agencies at our port, direct road safety, or to set up a safety compliance checkpoint within and around our seaport to ensure that all containers leaving our ports are well secured in line with the safety standards. Mr. Speaker and speaking colleagues, I seek and move. I so move.
Honorable colleagues, please resume to your seat, please.
Any seconder?
Order, please.
The one and only chairman I recognize that can make or break any motion of urgent public importance. Please, you have the floor.
Order, please.
Okay. Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, Nnamdi Zechi is my name, and I represent Ndokwa-Ukwani Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Delta State. I rise here this morning to second the motion ably moved by my dear brother. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Are you done? Okay. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. This motion is referred to the committees on Port and Harbour, Safety Standard, Federal Road Safety Corps for further legislative action. Honorable colleagues, the first business of the day is presentation of 25 bills. I now invite the clerk to read their short titles.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. Federal Colleges of Education Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading.
Order, please.
FCT District and Magistrate Courts Establishment Bill 2024, first reading. Institute of Information and Communication Technology, Azari, Borno State Establishment Bill 2024, first reading. Lassa FIBA Research Institute, Askira, Borno State Establishment Bill 2024, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, 6 alteration
Honorable Bob
standards and remove
Gali,
ambiguity Bill 2024, first reading. Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, 6 alteration Bill 2024, first reading.
Honorable Lalo.
Federal Polytechnics Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading. Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading. Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading. Nigeria Blue Economy Commission Establishment Bill 2024, first reading. Chartered Institute of Commodity Brokers of Nigeria Bill 2024, first reading. Federal Capital Territory Area Council Service Commission Establishment Bill 2024, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, 6 alteration, creation of Ijebu State Bill 2024, first reading. Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, Magda, Kano State Establishment Bill 2024, first reading. Federal University of Education, Ehamefu, Isiuzu, Local Government Area, Enugu Establishment Bill 2024, first reading. Federal Vocational and Skills Acquisition College, Tambata, Kano State Establishment Bill 2024, first reading. National Commission for Decommissioning of Oil and Gas Installations Bill 2024, first reading. National Commission for Civic Education Bill 2024, first reading. Federal University of Livestock and Horticulture, Datunkoa Establishment Bill 2024, first reading. National Health Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading. Investment and Securities Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading. Treaties Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading. Public Procurement Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading. Criminal Code Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading.
Honorable colleagues, the second business of the day is presentation of two reports of Committee on Health Institutions, standing in the name of Honorable Amos Gomna Magaji. Honorable Magaji is invited to present the reports.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Amos Gwamna Magaji. I represent the peaceful people of Zangwan Kataf, Jaba Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, we are from Kaduna State. Mr. Speaker, I do rise to move that the House do received the report of Committee on Health Institution on a bill for an act to provide for establishment of Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, Amao Suma, Bayelsa State, and for related matter, HB 1118. Yes. Mr. Speaker, I also rise to move that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Health Institution on a bill for an act to provide for establishment of Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, Amo Jinike, Enugu State, and for related matters, HB 524. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I so move.
Honorable Rashid.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I'm Honorable Abdullahi Rashid, member representing Dukuna Fada Federal Constituency from Gombe State. I rise to second that the House do receive the report from Committee on Health Institutions on HB 1118 and HB 5524. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Amos, please proceed and lay your report. The third business of the day is presentation of report of the ad hoc committee, of the Committee on Monitoring and Evaluation of all standing ad hoc committees of the first session, monitoring and evaluation report of the parliamentary committees, outputs of the House of Representatives. Standing in the name of Honorable Obina Agwacha, Honorable Agwacha is invited to present the report.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Right, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Sani Egidi Abdurrahim, the Deputy Chairman, Committee on Monitoring and Evaluation of all the standing committee and other committee in the House. I rise this morning to present the report as mandated in the standing order of the books of National of the House of Representatives, Order 20, Rule 85-2, as a mandatory responsibility of the House to lay a report quarterly of all the output of all standing committee and ad hoc committee in the House. On behalf of the chairman, I move the motion to please be allowed to lay the report. I so move, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Rep.
Any seconder? Doctor?
Mr. Speaker, my name is Honorable Dr. Emilian. I represent the people of Akankwa Biase Federal Constituency in Cross River State. I rise to second the motion that this report be received by this House. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Please proceed and lay your reports. The first order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to repeal the Nigerian Oil and Gas Industry Content Act, number 2, 2010, and enact the Nigerian Oil and Gas Industry Content Act to establish Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board and provide for legal framework, structures, and programs for the strengthening of Nigerian content in the Nigerian oil and gas industry and for related matters. Standing in the name of the House Leader. Honorable members recall that the House adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole on the bill on Wednesday, 4 December 2024. I therefore call on the House Leader to move that the bill be read a third time.
Apologies, Mr. Speaker. I rise to move that a bill for an act to repeal the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency Act 2007 and enact the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency Act 2024 to provide for establishment of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency for the promotion of maritime safety and security, protection of marine environment, ship registration and commercial shipping, maritime labor, and other related matters, HB 1594 be read, be considered by Committee of the Whole. Also, HB 281 and SB 569 be considered by Committee of the Whole. I so move.
Leader, are you sure that you are taking the right one? Check, you took the second instead of the first one. Now you can understand what I experienced.
I was being distracted here.
If you are distracted sometimes.
Allow me to rescind what I have just read and read the proper order. That a bill for an act to repeal the Nigerian Oil and Gas Industry Content Act, number 2, 2010, and enact the Nigerian Oil and Gas Industry Content Act to establish Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board and provide for legal framework, structures, and programs for the strengthening of Nigerian content in the Nigerian oil and gas industry for related matters, HB 1039, be taken for third reading. I so move.
Minority Leader, please can you second?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my very respected honorable colleagues. I rise to second the motion moved by our leader that Bill HB 1039 be read the third time. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to repeal the Nigerian Oil and Gas Industry Content Act number 2, 2010 and enact the Nigerian Oil and Gas Industry Content Act to establish Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board to provide for legal framework, structures, and programs for the strengthening of Nigerian content in the Nigerian oil and gas industry and for related matters. Third reading.
Being read the third time and passed. Honorable colleagues, the second order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the National Health Act number 8 of 2014 to provide a framework for establishment of a National Quality Accreditation Commission, Federal Territory Institution Commission, and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Adedayo Adeshola Samuel. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 1st November 2024. I now invite Honorable Adedayo to move that the bill be read a second time. Doctor, is he around? Honorable Adedayo. Not around? Okay. Bill stepped down by the leave of the House. The third order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to prohibit gas flaring, encourage gas utilization, and provide for penalties and remedies for gas flaring violations and for other related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Babajimi Benson. Honorable members who
order, please. Honorable colleagues, please resume your seat, please.
Honorable members.
Honorable Falake. Honorable Falake.
Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 17th October 2024. I now invite Honorable Benson to move that the bill be read a second time.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, I remain Babajimi Benson, representing the good people of Ikorodu Federal Constituency. I am the Wakil Iyazaza. I hereby rise to request my bill titled Anti-Glass Flaring Prohibition Enforcement Bill 2024 be read a second time. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder, but you have to be from an urban constituency, since this bill is being sponsored by a rural-based constituency member. Please, if you know you are from a very urbanized constituency, you can raise your hands up.
Colleague, be seated,
Honorable
please.
Marqueset, you know I'm recognizing you because you have been a good boy today.
Thank you, the People's Speaker, a man of peace, and a great stabilizer. Mark Eset is my name, speaking for the good people of Uyo who ran Seratai and the Simple and Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm a proud son of Akwa Ibom State. I rise to second the motion that the bill sponsored by my senior brother, a gentleman, Honorable Jimmy Benson, be read a second time. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Honorable colleagues, because this is a very interesting topic, I think the House deserves to hear at least a brief about what this bill is all about. So it's my pleasure to call on Honorable Jimmy Benson
Honorable Chero,
to give us a synopsis of this particular bill for the information of the House. Please go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise to lead the debate on the second reading of the Anti-Gas Flaring Prohibition and Enforcement Bill 2024. The bill represents a decisive legislative intervention aimed at addressing the long-standing damaging practice of gas flaring in Nigeria. It is firmly rooted in our constitutional obligation to protect the environment and promote sustainable development. The bill seeks to prohibit gas flaring and venting of natural gas, except in strictly regulated circumstances, while encouraging the utilization of same to foster economic growth and energy generation. Furthermore, Mr. Speaker, the bill aims to mitigate environmental, health, and economic impacts of gas flaring, aligning Nigeria's oil and gas operations with international best
Honorable
practice.
Alisa and Honorable Jafaru and Chiroma Birnungwari, please can you find your seats?
The bill provides for a comprehensive prohibition of gas flaring, except in emergencies or when explicitly authorized by the NUPRC. Operators are required to submit and implement gas utilization plans detailing how gas that would otherwise be flared will be captured for economic benefits. Mr. Speaker, the bill is expected to yield significant benefits. It will reduce carbon emissions, thereby contributing to Nigeria's climate change targets and promote sustainability. Economically, it will unlock potential of natural gas as an energy source, enhancing generation, supporting industrialization, and creating jobs. Finally, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the Anti-Flaring Prohibition and Enforcement Bill is a timely and necessary response to one of Nigeria's most pressing environmental challenges. Its provisions are both practical and forward-looking, addressing concerns while laying the groundwork for a sustainable future. Honorable colleagues, I urge all members to support this bill for its passage with the speed of light. I so move, Mr. Speaker, and thank you all.
Any comments? I think we need to make a comment either for or against this bill. Honorable Gadi, I thought you declared interest to make a contribution.
Thank you, sir. It is Yusuf Adamu Gagdi is my name. I represent Panshinkanke Kanama. I'm very sorry. This man is what he is.
Which man is that? Your good friend?
Yes. He was giving me some...
Are you referring to your good friend?
Yes, Mikey.
Your number one friend, Honorable Mikey, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll brief you later what he was telling me here, sir.
No problem.
Thank you, sir. Well, Mr. Speaker, just to add value to this, environmental protection is one of the significant aspects that we need to strengthen our legislative strength and provide legal framework that will cure some of the deficiencies in that regard. Mr. Speaker, any bill, we are in a global system that each and every country of the world, including both developed and developing countries, are committing their energies to climate change and how to control some of these human factors that contribute to climate change. In my opinion, just like it is in the opinion of this elderly, respected parliament, who seek to establish this bill, Honorable Jimmy Benson, it is one of the bills that will help the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in controlling some of the human factors that are affecting the climate change. In view of this, Mr. Speaker, I wish to say that this bill is not only timely, but it is relevant to the global attention since it seeks to control some of the things that degrades our own environment. And I commend the sponsor of this bill, Honorable Jimmy Benson, in this regard for making the parliament be part of government and our effort toward climate change. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to add value to this, Mr. Speaker.
You're welcome, Honorable Satomi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I remain Engineer Satomi Ahmad. I represent the good people of Jere Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Borno State. I rise to put in my voice for this very important bill from my very good friend, the Wakili Iya Zazau, Honorable Baba Jimmy Benson, preventing the flaring of gas entirely is a welcome development for us to look at it, to quickly enact this law, because if you look at the NUPRC's Act for providing even some companies to access the flaring of gas, this flaring is hazardous to our environment, to our ecosystem entirely, particularly the people of the Niger Delta region and the entire globe. So therefore, Mr. Speaker, to utilize the excess gas, particularly the associated gas in condensate, I think is very important. It will even improve the economic part of our country's dear needs of the LNG gas, and looking for a proper FLNG to utilize the gas into condensate. I think this is timely, and I encourage and support this bill for speedy passage so that the NNPC will look at a proper gas program that will boost the economy of Nigeria in terms of utilization of the gas, particularly the flaring gas in the upstream industry. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity I so submit.
Honorable Miriam.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Your Excellency, distinguished honorable colleagues. My name is Right Honorable Miriam Odinaka Onoha. I represent the people of Okigwe, Onimo, Isi Alamba, North Federal Constituency. I am from Imo State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise this morning to support this bill, which is timely and of the essence. It is a global call for action. Climate change mitigation and adaptation practices is a global trend. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, provides in Section 20 that the states shall make efforts to protect, preserve, and safeguard the environment in a manner that protects the land, the soil, the air, and the water. So this bill is actually an offshoot and in line with this ground norm of our Constitution. It is also in line with global principles such as the polluter pay principle, which makes polluters to be accountable to their actions on the environment. It's also in line with precautionary principle. It's in line with sustainable development and generational equity. It supports also environmental justice and the need for climate change mitigation approach like clean development mechanisms, trapping gas flaring, which would have caused environmental pollution, and converting them into useful energy sources is a clean development mechanism. And it could earn the country carbon credits also, which is of the global trend as an incentive for clean and greener energy programs. So on behalf of myself and the good people that I represent, we support this bill and align ourselves with the general principles of this debate. I so submit, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Kabiru. You still want to add or you are against?
Thank you. The only answer in Nigeria, Kabiru Amadou Palace is my name. I represent the entire people of Gusau Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Zamfara State. Mr. Speaker, I'm not against this bill. I'm supporting it. And almost all the points that I supposed to raise was echoed by my colleague, Honorable Mariam. Therefore, I don't have to repeat them. I totally support this bill. It's timely. Therefore, I support the bill 100%, Mr. Speaker. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Boniface Merengwa. I represent the people of Ikwere Emo Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from River State. Mr. Speaker, I will support this bill in all force. This bill, the importance of this bill cannot be overemphasized. Those of us from Niger Delta, anybody from Niger Delta ought to support this bill. This is because the flaring of gas by these oil companies portends a lot of hazards to the people in terms of their properties, in terms of their health. Mr. Speaker, if you live very close to where these gas are being flared, you will find out that all the economic trees within the vicinity, the cash crops are all withered. Even the refugees can't last more than 3-4 years. So the people are subjected to changing their refugees every 4 or 5 years. I'm sure that this bill will go a long way to ameliorate the hazards being suffered by people from these areas, especially those from Niger Delta. Mr. Speaker, I will support this bill. My people will support this bill in all force, as have been moved by Babaji Benson. And we are hereby, on behalf of my people, give full support for the passage of this bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, my brother. I think we have taken enough contributions. We can go ahead and put the question. It has been seconded, right? Has it been seconded? No, we don't need secondment at this level. So we'll just go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act prohibit gas flaring, encourage gas utilization and provide for penalties and remedies for gas flaring violations and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Gas Resources for further legislative action. The fourth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Centers Act to establish Federal Medical Center Mangu, Plateau State, and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Ishaya David Lalu, honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 10th October 2024. I now invite Honorable Lalu to move that the bill be read for a second time.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Ishaya David Lalu. I represent Mangu Bokos Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Plateau State, the home of peace and tourism. I rise to move a motion for a bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Center Act to establish Federal Medical Center, Mangu, Plateau State, and for related matters, HB 1747. I so move.
Seconder, Honorable, let me see a fresh hand. Honorable Fake, I recognize you for obvious reason. You know the reason, Abi?
Not yet, Mr. Speaker.
Well, I will explain to you later.
When we have that discussion, Mr. Speaker, I will understand the reason. Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, my name is Barrister Muhammad Bello Shehu, representing the people of Fege Federal Constituency. I'm from Kano State, of the Konkosia origin. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion as ably moved by my brother, Honorable Lalu. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable colleagues, this is an establishment bill based on our tradition on bills of similar subject matter. With your kind permission, we'll go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Centers Act to establish Federal Medical Center, Mangu, Plateau State, and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Health Institutions for further legislative action. The fifth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to provide for establishment of National Institute for Technical and Vocational Education, Bogoro, Bauchi State, and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Jafaru Gamboleko, honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 26 July 2023. I will now invite Honorable Leko to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, the People's Speaker, one of the peaceful speakers, one of the finest and humble speaker this very, very green chambers ever had. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I'm particularly happy today that under the distinguished leadership of our great speaker, the green chambers has continued to expand and escalate the number of APC from the extreme left to the extreme right. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleague, I rise this afternoon to move a motion, a very important establishment bill for an act to provide for establishment of National Institute for Technical and Vocational Education in Bogoro, Bauchi State, and for related matters, House Bill 286. I so move, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. Thank you.
Honorable Garba Inua, since you are a friend to APC, after what your kind friend has said, I think you deserve the right to second this very important bill.
Thank you very much. The indefatigable Speaker of the people of Nigeria. I am Right Honorable Ino Garba, member representing Yamatu Deba Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Gombe State. I stand tall this afternoon to not only second the motion by my junior brother, Honorable Leko, on a motion that is very timely and cogent to the plight of the people we represent from our neighbors, and where we started from, that is Bauchi State. And equally, to thank him very much for acknowledging that some of the members crisscross from their roots. They leave the root on the ground, they take the stem and the other part of this thing. That root, inshallah, PDP will utilize it in various constituencies there very soon. Mr. Speaker, you will see how PDP will take over Nigeria, inshallah. Very soon, inshallah. We congratulate the APC. They will full the box while we come and carry them, including the box, and make Nigeria to be more greater, more peaceful, more transparent, and more productive. With that, I second the motion, heavily moved by Honorable Leko.
To happen.
Sit down.
Those in support of this motion should say
Order,
aye.
please. Honorable Chero.
Those against should say nay. The ayes have it.
Order,
Again,
please.
honorable colleagues, this is an establishment bill. With your kind permission, we'll go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act provide for establishment of National Institute for Technical and Vocational Education, Ogoro, Bauchi State, and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Federal Polytechnics and Higher Technical Education for further legislative action. The sixth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Entrepreneurship and Skill Acquisition, Howell, local government area, Borno State, to provide full-time courses, teaching instruction, and training in technology, applied science, arts, social sciences, humanities, and management and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Usman Midala Balami. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 17th October 2024. I now invite Honorable Usman to move that the bill be read a second time.
Distinguished Speaker, the People's Speaker, Ian Zazo, GCON, distinguished colleagues, my name is Midala Usman Balami. I represent the good and dynamic people of Asker Uba, Howell Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise this afternoon to move a very important and crucial motion for an act to establish Federal College of Entrepreneurship and Skill Acquisition in Howell, local government area, and for related matters. To provide for course, teaching, instruction, and training in technology, applied sciences, art, social science, and management, and for related matters. Mr. Speaker, this particular act is a community-driven bill that's centered on economic empowerment and employment. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Honorable Ajile Soro.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, His Excellency, the most peaceful speaker in the whole world. My name is Honorable Taufik Abimbola Ajile Soro. I represent Ife, Federal Constituency in Osun State. Mr. Speaker, I'm from the source, the cradle of the world. I rise this afternoon to second the bill of my fellow honorable colleagues. I hereby move for this bill to be read second time. I so move.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. Again, this is an establishment bill, so go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to establish Federal College of Entrepreneurship and Skills Acquisition, Howell Local Government Area, Borno State, to provide full-time courses, teaching, instruction, and training in technology, applied science, arts, social sciences, humanities, and management, and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill again is referred to the Committee on Federal Polytechnics and Higher Technical Education for further legislative action. The seventh order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the Federal Colleges of Education Act and provide for establishment of the Federal College of Education Technical, Apet Central, Cross River State, to provide full-time courses, teaching, instruction, and training in technology, applied science, arts, social sciences, humanities, and management and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Emil Iang, honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 27 July 2023. And I invite Honorable Dr. Iang to move that the bill be read a second time.
Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, my name is Honorable Dr. Emil Ian. I represent the people of Akankpa Biase in Federal Constituency in Cross River State. I rise to move a motion for the second reading of a bill for an act to amend the Federal Colleges of Education Act and provide for the establishment of the Federal College of Education Technical, Akbet Central, Cross River State, to provide full-time courses, teaching instruction, and training in technology, applied sciences, arts, social sciences, humanities, and management, and other related matters, HB 364. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Is it Honorable Jimo at the back? The last member at the back, I can't see the face properly. Please, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Dr. Abdulmaruf Adewale Adebayo. I represent the good people of Irepodun, Orulu, Olorunda, Oshogbo Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Osun State. I rise this morning to support the second leg of this bill, assembly move by my honorable colleagues. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Again, honorable colleagues, this is also an establishment matter. So with your kind permission, we'll go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the Federal Colleges of Education Act and provide for establishment of the Federal College of Education Technical, Akwet Central, Cross River State. To provide full-time courses, teaching, instruction, and training in technology, applied science, arts, social sciences, humanities, and management, and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Federal Colleges of Education for further legislative action. The eighth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish National Youth Improvement Management Commission to be saddled with the responsibility of coordinating and regulating all forms of youth improvement through the government budgetary allocation, including local and foreign donations, to help improve the export of the youth for self-dependence, especially giving the youth the opportunity to access the funds to engage themselves through fashion and designing, or tailoring, shoemaking, furniture making, interior decoration, poultry farming, fishery farming, waste management control operations, and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Mohammed Dan Abbashew, honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 23rd July 2024. And I invite Honorable Shehu to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Mr. Speaker, sir, my respected honorable parliamentarians of this esteemed chamber. My name is Honorable Mohammed Dan Abbashehu, member representing Zaki Federal Constituency from Bauchi State. Mr. Speaker, I stand to create the indulgence of this honorable House for the bill, an act to establish National Youth Improvement Management Commission to be saddled with the responsibility of coordinating and regulating all forms of youth improvement through the government budgetary allocation, including local and foreign donation, to help improve the export of the youth for self-dependent, especially giving the youth the opportunity to access the fund to engage themselves through fashion, designing, tailoring, shoemaking, furniture making, interior decoration, poultry farm, fishery farming, waste management control operation, and for the related matters, HB 1453, to allow to be read for the second time. Thank you. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Honorable Jallo.
Right, Honorable Speaker, my respected colleagues, I'm Seni Mohammed Jallo from Kaduna State, representing Igabi Federal Constituency. I hereby second the motion. I believe my colleague, I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay.
Amendment. Nay.
Amendment?
Yes, sir.
To
the entire bill, sir.
What kind of amendment? You want to contribute?
Contribute.
Okay.
Sir,
you can only contribute.
Okay. My contribution, sir, is more or less of observation, sir. Because if you look at the entire structure of the bill for an act to establish National Youth Improvement Management Commission,
So I think it's better. We have the Ministry of Youth Development, we have the ITF, we have commissions that deals with entrepreneurship and skills like the NDE and other vocational trade center, including even innovation banks and the rest. I think why not for him to observe and withdraw this bill to restructure it proper, looking at the global trajectory of technology. Today, Nigerian youths are attaining the age of even unicorn, likes of Money Point, which valued about $1 billion. And looking at the entrepreneurship, just subjecting such funds to create shoemaking, tailoring, these are many things. So I think it's better he restructure the mover of the bill to restructure the bill in a way that it will look like National Youth Development Commission that encompasses the global trajectory of youth development that has to do with technological innovations, enterprise technological advancement, and then setting up of the entrepreneur across the nation, looking at the current government focused on youth development to even give an entire Ministry of Youth. I think this is my few observations, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Honorable. I think you are very right, but at the same time, to me, the House has absolute right, after the second reading, during public hearing, we can make far-reaching amendments to this bill. We similarly have the same opportunity during Committee of the Whole to also effect additional amendments in whatever form we want. So with your kind permission, let us allow this bill to go with the intention thereafter, during public hearing, to bring all these innovations and changes that you have just spoken about. So, honorable colleagues, with your kind permission, we'll put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Again, this is an establishment bill, which does not require much debate. We put the question again. Those in support of this bill to go for second reading, say aye. Those against should say no, nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to establish National Youth Improvement Management Commission to be saddled with the responsibility of coordinating and regulating all forms of youth improvement through the government budgetary allocation, including local and foreign donations, to help improve the export of the youth for self-dependent, especially giving the youth the opportunity to access funds to engage themselves through fashion and designing or tailoring, shoemaking, furniture making, interior decoration, poultry farming, fishery farming, waste management control operations, and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Youth Development for further legislative action. The ninth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the National Library Act Cap N56, 2004 to read National Library and E-Library Establishment Bill, and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable J.C. Okejoy Onukulasi. Honorable members recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 28 November 2023. I now invite Honorable J.C. to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, the Speaker of the 10th Assembly and esteemed colleagues. Mr. Speaker and distinguished colleagues, I crave your indulgence to move and seek your support for a bill for an act to amend the National Library Act to read National Library and E-Library Establishment Act. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Any seconder? Honorable Biga.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My honorable colleagues, I am Honorable Saidu Yusuf Miga. I represent Jahun Miga Federal Constituency. I am from Jigawa State. I rise to second the motion ably moved by Honorable J.C. leader of petition in the House. Thank you.
Thank you for the recognition you have given to my good friend, acknowledging him to be a leader. Thank you so much. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Again, honorable colleagues, this is an establishment bill. We go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this bill to go for second reading should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the National Library Act, Cap N56, 2004, to read National Library and E-Library Establishment Bill and for related matters, second reading.
Honorable colleagues, the 10th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish jury trial and services for special crimes, corruption and other offenses, and the administration of jury trials, criminal justice bill in the Federal High Court and FCT Division and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Pascal Abodike. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 26 July 2023. I now invite Honorable Abodike to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Ian Zaza. My name is Honorable Pascal Abodike. I represent Ihala Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Anambra State. Mr. Speaker, I have a bill for an act to establish jury trial and services for special crimes and corruption and other offenses, and the administration of jury trial criminal justice bill for Federal High Court and FCT Division and for related matters. Mr. Speaker, it is true that I presented this bill, but I have really consulted. I've consulted the leader of the House and other senior colleagues, and they advised that we should please step it down for further consultation, because we have to alter some sections of the Constitution for it to fly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable, for that understanding. So, with the kind permission of the House, this bill is stepped down. Is Honorable Forge around? Can you approach the chair, please? Please go ahead, proceed. Go back, please. We'll talk later. Honorable colleagues, the 11th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the Companies Income Tax Act to provide adequate security and guarantee for businesses and companies in relation to payment of minimum tax upon losses in each assessment year and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Obosizebe Oforji. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 29th October 2029. I now invite Honorable Oforji to move that the bill be read second time.
With profound humility, Mr. Speaker, my revered colleagues, Oforji Aponsisbo Boku is my name, representing Nyenengwa Kolokmo Kokuma Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Bayelsa State. Mr. Speaker, I rise this afternoon to move a motion and a bill for an act to amend the Company Income Tax Act to provide adequate security and guarantee for business and companies in relation to payment of minimum tax upon losses in each assessment year and for the latest matter. Mr. Speaker, I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? The Deputy Chairman, Youth.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Honorable Abdullahi Muaz Gorzo, member representing Gorzo Kabo Federal Constituency from Kano State. I rise this afternoon to second the motion ably moved by my colleague. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Oforji, do you want to give additional flesh to this bill so that members will be more informed about what it contains?
Okay, Mr. Speaker, my revered colleague. Mr. Speaker, this bill, the essence of this bill is to amend the section 33(1) of the Company Income Tax Act, to which talk about where a company does not make profit, that made loss, will pay minimum income after the assessment year. The essence of it is to delete that section 33(1) to insert sub 33(3), where a company that made loss, that never made profit after the assessment year, should be exempted from paying minimum income tax. Mr. Speaker, with this amendment, if this House amend that very section 33(1), it will encourage our businesses, people to invest, because where you never made profit, where a company made loss after FROS have carried out assessment for that company to pay minimum income tax, does not encourage business in our country, and that is the reason why this amendment is necessary. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Falake.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is James Abiodun Falike. I represent Ikeja Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to actually second that motion raised. And of course, because it's also part of the the tax bill before us, that any company that makes loss should not be penalized, asking them to pay tax. And so I do agree with him, and that's why I rise to support it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So with this explanation, I think we can go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the Companies Income Tax Act to provide adequate security and guarantee for businesses and companies in relation to payment of minimum tax upon losses in each assessment year and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Finance for further legislative action. My attention was drawn to, Clerk, which one is that? Order 9, the committee to attend to that particular bill is a Committee on University Education. The 12th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Centers Act to provide for establishment of the Federal Medical Center Gachukun, Kaduna State, and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Hussein Mohammed Jallo. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 13 July 2023, I now invite Honorable Jallo to move that the bill be read a second time.
Right, Honorable Speaker, my distinguished colleagues, Speaker, the Ian Zozo, my constituency neighbor from Kaduna State. I'm Hussein Mohammed Jallo, representing Igebe Federal Constituency of Kaduna State. The bill is for an act to amend the Federal Medical Centers Act to provide for the establishment of the Federal Medical Center Rigachikun, Kaduna State, and for related matters, HB 102, second reading. Thank you.
Any seconder? Honorable Salami.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Babadele Salam, at the north, at the south, and better raging with Federal Constituency of Osun State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion that this bill be read a second time. I so second. Thank you, sir.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. Again, honorable colleagues, this is an establishment bill. With your kind permission, we go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this bill to go for second reading should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. Clerk.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Centers Act to provide for establishment of Federal Medical Center Rigachikun, Kaduna State, and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Health Institutions for further legislative action. The 13th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of the bill to provide for establishment of Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, Mashi, Katsina State, and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Salis Yusuf Majigiri. Honorable members, to recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 9th July 2024. I now invite Honorable Majigiri to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. The ESSO GCON, my dear respected colleagues, my name is Salis Yusuf Majigiri. I represent Mashid Usi Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Katsina State. I rise to move the motion for the second reading of a bill for an act to provide for establishment of Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, Mashi, in Mashi Town, Mashi Tutsi Federal Constituency, Katsina State, and for related matters, HB 1554. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Honorable Damaliki.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My respected honorable colleagues, my name remains Yakubu Adamu Damaliki. I represent Borno Kuduboji Federal Constituency. I am from Jigawa State. I rise to second the motion, move my honorable colleague and friend. I so second. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. Again, it's an establishment bill. We go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this bill to go for second reading should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. Clerk.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to provide for establishment of Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, Mashi, Katsina State, and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred again to the Committee on Health Institutions for further legislative action. The 14th order of the day is motion on the need to give consideration in the provision of palliatives to citizens in Nigeria, border communities. Standing in the name of Honorable Adeboyega Nasur Isiaka. Honorable Isiaka is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My name is Adeboyega Isiaka, representing the very good people of Yewa North, Imekwa for Federal Constituency of Ogun State. And I rise with your permission, Mr. Speaker, to move a motion on the need to give special consideration to the border communities in Nigeria in the provision of measures aimed to cushion the effect of high costs of petroleum products in the country. The House is aware that a resolution was passed on 11 July 2023, urging the Nigerian government through the Nigerian Customs Service to lift the ban on petroleum products movement within 20 kilometers to and from Nigerian borders. Also aware that the resolution is yet to be implemented by the Nigerian Customs Service for unspecified reasons. We worried that this has continued to cause untold hardship for those living within 20 kilometers of Nigerian land borders of approximately 4,050 kilometers. While the dwellers of the urban and semi-urban communities in Nigeria currently buy PMS, for example, at around 1,000 or 1,200 per litre, the effective cost per litre to residents and small-scale businesses in the border communities is close to 2,000 naira per litre. And this is in addition to other deprivations to the highly vulnerable people in the periphery of the country, notably poor infrastructural and social amenities. Worried that the situation could get worse if urgent intervention is not taken by federal government, including the lifting of the ban on petroleum products to and from the Nigerian borders, the House resolves to urge the federal ministries of humanitarian affairs and poverty alleviation, agricultural production and food security, finance, labor and employment and productivity, and their relevant agencies to always give special considerations to Nigerian land border communities in the allocation and distribution of palliatives and other concessions to cushion the effect of high cost of fuel and resultant inflationary effects. 2, to mandate the committees on poverty alleviation, agri production and services, finance, labor, employment and productivity to ensure compliance and report within 4 weeks for further legislative action. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Joby, do you want to second this? Okay. I hope there is no NMPP syndrome that is affecting the microphones.
Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Tijana Abdulkadir Jobe, representing Dawakin Tofa Tofa Rimengado. I do second the motion as ably moved. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. There is have it. This motion is referred to the Committees on Poverty Alleviation, Agricultural Production and Services, Finance, Labor, Employment and Productivity for further legislative action. The 15th order of the day is a motion calling on the national security agencies to reduce the excessive security checkpoints on Onitsha-Enugu Expressway, standing in the name of Honorable Amobi Oga. Honorable Oga is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, the People's Speaker, the most humble speaker we ever had. My name remains Honorable Amobi Godwin Oga. I represent Nigeria through the good people of Isukwato and Umunochi Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Abia State. Mr. Speaker, I rise this afternoon to move a motion on the need to urge the national security agencies to reduce the number of excessive security checkpoints on Onitsha-Enugu Expressway. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, the House is fully aware that the security agencies in Nigeria that are mostly involved in mounting of security checkpoints on our major roads include the Nigerian Army, Nigerian Police Force, and the Federal Road Safety Corps. It is also aware that the distance between Onitsha to Enugu is approximately 105 kilometers only. It is disturbing that in a journey of 105 kilometers, there are approximately 28 security checkpoints. That is at an average of 3.7 kilometers each. For example, Okuzu Junction, Amobia Junction, Ugwuoba Boundary, Oji River Junction, and Onyama Hill, just to mention but a few. These subject travelers to constant harassment, delays, and extortions of different sorts in addition to other inconveniences. The House knows that the mountain of numerous checkpoints along expressway violates the constitutional right of Nigerian citizens to free movement as enshrined in Section 41 of 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. It is also a direct affront to the dignity of the people, particularly in the Southeast, where such levels of militarization are more pronounced. The House is worried that these security checkpoints appear to be more of a tool for harassment than a genuine effort to ensuring security, noting that ordinary citizens, especially commercial drivers, are often forced to pay bribes at the checkpoints to avoid delays or harassment. This is having detrimental effects on the socio-economic life of the region by causing delays, constant interruptions, increase in cost of transportation, goods, and other services, which altogether discourage economic activities and investment in my region. Mr. Speaker and my honorable colleagues, inasmuch as security is important, the current approach of mounting excessive security checkpoints is counterproductive and undermines the economic stability of the region. We advocate the use of modern and more efficient methods of maintaining security that do not subject the people to undue hardship or violate their constitutional fundamental rights. The House therefore resolves to all the House Committee on Defense, Army, and Police Affairs to dialogue with the service chiefs and the Inspector General of Police to explore alternative security strategies that will not subject my people to undue hardship. The House Committee on Road Safety should also dialogue with the Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps to regulate the number of each checkpoint on the Onitsha-Enugu Expressway. The House also resolves that the House Committee on National Security should engage its relevant agencies and advocate for community-based security initiatives.
Honorable Mutru,
and improve intelligence
I want to promote you
gathering,
today.
which will
Because
effectively
today is a very
address
happy day for me.
regional
I want to
security
promote you to this side
concern other than
for you
the
to
use
sit.
of
You can choose any
excessive
of the 3 seats.
security checkpoint on the expressway. Finally, my honorable colleagues, the House resolves that the House Committees of Defense, Police Affairs, and National Security should intensify strict oversight to ensure that the security operatives act within the bounds of the law and do not use their positions to harass and exploit the people of Southeast. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and my honorable colleagues. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Contribution first. If there are people who would want to contribute on this before amendment, I start to Honorable Faleke.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is James Abiodun Faleke. I represent Ikeja Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I have a different opinion from my colleague's motion, being that we are aware there are a series of security challenges in the East, especially in Anambra State. We read in the papers, hear in the news of killings every day on daily basis. So if security men have now organized themselves to checkmate those challenges, I think what the motion should be talking about is to say appeal to them to be more organized and more civil, rather than saying it is excessive. There is no excessive security checkpoint when you have serious security challenges. This is my own opinion. I do appreciate his motion, but then we need to encourage our security men and women so that they don't see as if we don't recognize their efforts. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Marqueset.
Thank you, the People's Speaker, the great stabilizer and a man of peace. Mark Eset is my name, speaking for the good people of Uyo, who ran Sadatai and Ibesiposita Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, proudly and Akwa Ibomite, I first want to thank my colleague and my brother for this people-sensitive, centered motion. Just like my senior colleague have said, the issue, the content of this motion, to my understanding, is not the numerous checkpoints on the road, but the activities, the behaviors of the security operatives or personnel is the issue here. Talking about extortion, not because the checkpoint is too much. Talking about harassment, not because of the many checkpoints, but the attitude of the security personnel is what we should be concerned about. Setting up a monitoring team. Mr. Speaker, I know in this country there was a time the IG then set up a monitoring team that goes around the federal highways dressed in mufti, and some policemen were arrested who carried out the activities of extorting.
Honorable Marquez, if I understand what you are saying, then I think there is a need for you to move for an amendment of the subject matter, rather than excessive security checkpoints to excessive, how do I put it, conduct of security officers.
Thank you,
and
yes.
checkpoints.
Yes.
Something like that.
Okay, yeah, you're correct, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
But after your contribution, you can move for that if you so wish.
Thank you.
If you have the blessing of the mover of the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think that's a whole summary of my contribution to this, that the prayers be amended to read that the activities of the security personnel be checked to reduce extortion and unnecessary embarrassment to commuters.
Okay, let's hear from the sponsor of the motion before we get a seconder for that amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, the People's Speaker. My name remains Honorable Amobi Godwin Oga. I represent Nigerians through the good people of Isukwato and Umunnochi Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Abia State. Mr. Speaker, this motion is so dear to my people, is so dear to the Southeasterners that are here. Mr. Speaker, I have gone from Abuja to Kanu or to Kaduna, even from Asaba to Lagos. We don't have up to 10 checkpoints. Sir, from Onitsha to Enugu, having 28 checkpoints, sir, is frustrating. It's frustrating. So the excessiveness is very, very important there. In as much as we are talking about security, we should talk about the harassment, the extortions that is going on.
If I understand you, Honorable Amobi, you are not saying that the security checkpoints are too many.
There are too many,
but you
sir.
are just
There are too
concerned
many, sir.
about the excessiveness of the security operators at the checkpoints, right?
Sir, apart from being excessive, the humiliation and the harassment.
It's all part of excessiveness now.
It is also. So, sir.
Are you saying the checkpoints are too many? Because
Yes,
that
sir.
is what
Yes,
you are
sir. Yes, sir.
Or you are saying that the activities of, say, security operatives at checkpoints
All of the above.
is excessive.
All, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Okay,
All of them.
please sit down because the House has the right to determine which one is more expedient. Thank you. We have an amendment proposed by Honorable Mark Essex to change the topic, the subject matter of the motion, or is it a prayer? Amendment of the subject matter, right? Prayer. Is it prayer? Which prayer are you amending, or is it an additional prayer? Please look at it properly before we get a seconder. Just a minute, please. Let's finish with this one first, because there is a move for amendment. Let Honorable Mark Essex be clear as to what he is trying to amend.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And truly, Mr. Speaker, thank you, still Mark Essex, member representing Uyo, Uranstrata, Ibesipon, and Asutan Local Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, going through the prayers, there is nowhere in his prayers that talks about the removal of the security checkpoints, which agrees with what I have said. It is not the checkpoint that is the issue. It is the excessiveness of the security personnel. So removing of the security is not part of his prayers.
So you are just amending the subject matter?
Yes.
The title of the motion?
Of the motion, yes.
Any seconder to that, please? Do we have any seconder? Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Emeka Chinedu. I represent the hospitable people of our houses in the Federal Constituency. I'm from Imo State. Mr. Speaker, I want to call the point of the amendment Essex is making. If that amendment is done, the excess of this motion will be defeated. That excessive should be there. What the motion is talking about, that the distance from one checkpoint to another is less than 1 kilometer, and it's very rampant only in the southeast. So that excess should be there. It should not be amended, Mr. Speaker. That's my amendment.
You are not seconding, you are just making a point of order.
Yes, there's no point amending the motion. He said they should remove the excessiveness there. But
no, there is no excessiveness written there.
No, excessive is there.
Oh, is
he
there?
Said they should remove it, yes. He said they should remove it. So if you amend that, it will now defeat the essence of this motion.
Okay, so we'll leave it as it is.
Yes.
Anyone through Honorable Mark said, are you withdrawing the amendment, or you still want us to look for a seconder?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there's an adage that says, he that wears the shoes knows where it pinches. I want to appreciate my colleagues, my brothers from the Southeast. If they so wish, they are the one wearing the shoe. So be it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So let's get a seconder to this motion. A seconder to the main motion. Seconder, Honorable Dr. Billy, a friend of the Southeast.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, my honorable colleagues, especially the sympathetic Honorable Mark Essex. I remain Honorable Chief Dr. Billy Famous at this Sawaru. I represent the good people of Orion the Federal Constituency of Edo State, a very proud Benin Chief. I rise to second this all-important motion, ably moved by my very good friend, Honorable Amobi Oga. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committees on Defense, Police Affairs, and National Security and Intelligence for further legislative action. The 16th order of the day is a motion on the need to investigate foreign loans obtained by all tiers of government, standing in the name of Honorable Kama Ike Kama. Honorable Kama is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The year Zazao, our own GCON, the man of peace. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, Kama Nkem Kama is my name. I represent the awesome people of Ohozara, Onitsha, and Ivo Federal constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from a boy state, the south of the nation. Mr. Speaker, a motion on the need to investigate the foreign loans obtained by all tiers of government. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the House knows that foreign loans have been a significant source of funding for various developmental projects and budgetary support for...
Honorable Damaliki, are you joining APC? Because you seem to be very excited today. Please, if you want, just come and sit here for at least the remaining time of this session as a sign of goodwill from APC.
They'll come back.
Please go ahead, Honorable Kama.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The House knows that foreign loans have been a significant source of funding for various developmental projects and budgetary support in Nigeria, with the federal government and state governments increasingly relying on external borrowing to finance infrastructure projects, social programs, and other public expenditures. The House also knows that Section 47, 2, and 3 of the Fiscal Responsibility Act 2007 and the External Domestic Borrowing Guideline of the Debt Management Office state that all external loans must be backed by a federal government guarantee before final approval. Aware that Nigeria's public debt profile has risen substantially to $91.46 billion as of March 5, 2024, with foreign loans making up a significant portion of $42,115.54 as of March 31, 2024 of the total debt burden, raising concerns about the sustainability of the country's debt levels and the potential implications for future generations. The House concerned that there have been numerous allegations and reports suggesting that a number of these foreign loans were probably obtained without proper due diligence, leading to concerns about the terms and conditions of the loans, the transparency of the borrowing process, and actual utilization of the funds. The House also concerned that some state governments also obtained foreign loans under questionable circumstances with little or no transparency about the acquisition of the loans, their use, or the potential financial impact of repayment obligations on the state government. The House is disturbed by the possibility that some of these loans may have been misappropriated, poorly managed, or diverted for purposes beyond the ones for which they were obtained, consequently undermining the intended development impact and exacerbating the country's debt challenges. The House acknowledges the need for strict oversight, transparency, and accountability in the management of foreign loans to ensure that they are used effectively for the benefit of all Nigerians and that the upcoming generations are not unduly burdened by unsustainable debt. The House hereby resolves, Mr. Speaker, to set up an ad hoc committee to conduct a comprehensive investigation into all foreign loans obtained by the federal, state, and local government over the past decade, with a focus on the terms and conditions of the loans, the transparency of the borrowing process, and the utilization of the funds, and report within 4 weeks for further legislative actions. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Kabiru.
Thank you. The only ENZO in Nigeria, Kabiru Amadou Palace is my name. I represent the entire people of Gusau Federal constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Zamfara State. Mr. Speaker, I want to quote Order 9, Rule 4, that says a member must confine his contributions to the subject under discussion and may not introduce any matter irrelevant. With that, Mr. Speaker, I want to call the attention of this Honorable House that the motion that was just moved by my good friend Honorable Kama, similar of it or exactly, was taken on the floor of this House on 31st of October 2024, Mr. Speaker, and it was referred on 9th November to the Committee on AIDS, Loans, and Debt Management, and the committee has already started engaging the relevant authorities about this motion. Therefore, I feel it's necessary to call the attention of this House so that we cannot duplicate the same matter at the same time, Mr. Speaker. I so move. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The Chair Rules and Business, you heard what Honorable Kabiru Mepal has just mentioned. Can you confirm whether we had a motion of similar
Mr. Speaker,
matter that was already
my
considered?
dear colleagues, I've heard my brother, Honorable Kabiru. These motions are entirely different from the one he's talking about, so they are not the same. And let me confirm to him that we're always careful on this issue. The way he's talking, they are not different from this, honestly.
And furthermore, I thought motions generally, unless they are given some exceptions, are supposed to have a last span of 4 weeks, or at most 6 weeks, right? After which they cease to exist. They don't have the same consideration with bills. You understand? So even if there is a motion of the same subject matter, after a period of time within which the mandate that is given to the committee referred expired, it ceases to be. So you can still revisit the same subject matter again and again and again. Okay? Yes.
Mr. Speaker, it's not up to a month. On 9th of November, the matter was referred to the committee, Mr. Speaker.
But you heard what the Chair Rules and Business is saying.
Mr. Speaker, I want to read the motion. The motion says, need to ensure public debt oversight on the federal and the state government loans and proper utilization of borrowed funds. That's the motion that was moved then.
You mean what time?
On 31st of October that it was moved. It was referred on 9th.
And it was referred when?
On 9th November.
9th November, and was given how long?
Today is 5th December, sir.
How many weeks was it given through, based on the mandate?
It was given 4 weeks, and today is 3 weeks. For the, and the committee already went about with work, Mr. Speaker.
But he is saying that the two motions are not entirely the same.
Mr. Speaker, the motion was saying to investigate, to oversight the loans, both from federal and state government. Similar with this one that was moved now by Kama, it was also saying to investigate the loans obtained by all types of government, Mr. Speaker. It's just the English, Mr. Speaker.
Well, Honorable Kama, let's hear what you are going to say about it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, first and foremost, the session incited for bringing the attention of the House to its order is wrong. That's number one. But most importantly, my word here says investigate. We are trying to investigate this loan. I don't know the wording of their own, because I'm saying 10 years span of all these loans. So it's different from what he just said. He said oversight. So I don't see how an oversight has to do with an investigative hearing, sir. This is a hearing, and that is an oversight. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
I think since we have two divergent views, I will suspend further deliberation or ruling on this particular motion until Tuesday next week, after which I expect the Chair, Rules and Business, to give us a comprehensive position about the two motions, and then we can take decision.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, let me guide the House, Mr. Speaker. Order 8, Rule 15. 1. A motion or an amendment may be withdrawn at the request of the mover by the leave of the House
before the commencement of a debate. A motion or an amendment so withdrawn may be made again, but in the case of a motion, a notice is required. I think we should be guided. We have debated this motion. The mover did not request that this motion should be withdrawn. The House has the responsibility to give a committee on any matter, to investigate any matter, regardless whether this matter has been referred to any committee. It's within the powers of the House to do that. If we continue to backpedal on issues like this, the House will be narrowed down in getting to understand some of the issues.
Yes, thank you for that contribution, but you need to understand we have two issues that we need to be sure of. First, the lifespan of that referral, whether the referral was made from the clerk's office to the committee on the 9th, and whether they still have time within. And two, whether we are talking about the same subject matter. If it is the same subject matter, and they still, the time given to them by the House is still valid, we might say perhaps it is a little bit too early to refer to another committee other than the one that is already working. So since we are not too sure about those two areas, I think it will not be too bad if we step it down until Tuesday next week, where we can get a clearer picture of what it is all about. Are we on the same page? So this bill is stepped down to Tuesday next week for continuation of debates. The 17th order of the day is a motion on the need to improve road safety by mandating functional lighting of heavy-duty vehicles, standing in the name of Honorable Benjamin Adeyemi Olabinjo. Honorable Olabinjo is hereby invited to move the motion. Is the Honorable around? Is not around? The motion is stepped down by the leave of the House. The 18th order of the day is consideration of 3 bills standing in the name of Honorable Julius. Honorable colleagues, I think because of the absence of the Deputy Speaker, who is unavoidably absent, I will seek the leave of the House to ask the Leader of the House to move that we suspend the remaining items on our order paper to be taken to Tuesday next week.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. I rise to move that, given extenuating circumstances, that the consideration of reports 18 to 27 be suspended till Tuesday next week. I so move.
The Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, Aliu Sani Madaki is my name, and I represent the Ala Federal Constituency of Kano State. I stand to second the motions that report consideration item number 18 to 27 be stepped down to Tuesday next week. I do support.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. Honorable colleagues, we have some couple of announcements before we call it a day. The first one is coming from our dear brother, Honorable Felix Uche Nweke. And the announcement reads as follows. The family of Honorable and Deaconess Felix Uche Nweke cordially invite all honorable members to the wedding of their beloved daughter, Miss Menma Lydia Nweke, to Dr. Oluwaseun Olamide Abegunde on Saturday, 21st December 2024 at St. Andrew's Anglican Church, Rumobia Kani, Port Harcourt, River State by 12 p.m. Wedding reception holds at Oak Park and Garden, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt. Your presence will be highly appreciated. Signed, Honorable Felix Uche Nweke for the family. The next announcement is coming from Honorable Obina Ogocha, the chairman of the Committee on Monitoring and Evaluation. His message reads as follows. The unveiling of the first session of Monitoring and Evaluation Committee report of the Parliamentary Committee's outputs, House of Representatives, Federal Republic of Nigeria, and commendation of the 10 most performing committees of the 10th House will be coming up 3 p.m., day Tuesday, 10 December 2024, venue, the multipurpose hall, library and research building, NAS complex. The last but not the least is to announce the composition of the ad hoc committee to investigate. I think those are the only two announcements. The Leader of the House, can you move for the House to adjourn?
Mr. Speaker, Professor Julius Sihanvere, OON, DSSRS, Owa Federal Constituency, Edo State, I rise to move that the House do adjourn to Tuesday next week, 11 a.m., same venue. I so move.
The Leader of the Majority.
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, I stand to second the motion that we do adjourn to Tuesday next week, same time, same place. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. House adjourned to Tuesday next week, 11 o'clock. Thank you very much.